Dear Grace, starting this one in the evening. I'll probably finish it in the day, unless I can't sleep tonight. And then I'll finish it later when the sun goes down. Squirrel fights going on in the backyard. For some reason I thought that would interest you. I'm not quite sure why. But we'll start there. It's later in the day, Grace. Just realized I'm a hypocrite. A lot of things. The one that I realized today was someone new's leaving the house. Face I don't recognize. I have to check and make sure it's not a terrorist. Half these jokes only work if you have listened to all the Dear Graces. Oh, never mind, I know who it is. But now we have a truth. I call it walk of shame, but boyfriend leaving can't really be a walk of shame. In my case, it's a walk of envy, jealousy, admiration. Now I've completely forgot the brilliant thought I had to start before the news, Grace. I remember why I'm a hypocrite. Because I call this a stream of consciousness. Stream of consciousness. But I added a try this again. Call this a stream of consciousness, but I edit on the fly. In my head before I say the words. So it is, but it isn't. So I've readjusted the Grok news parameters. Still can't talk. It's 2:34 in the afternoon. So maybe I'll never be able to talk. In case you're wondering, Grace, I don't pre-read these, but sometimes I do see the stories as Grok is generating them. The dog that went missing from his home in BC's Okanagan Valley has been reunited with his owners after an incredible journey that saw him turn up in Manitoba, more than 3,000 kilometers away. I cough just so you know I'm alive, Grace. And that I'm not AI. See, AI can't fake this shit. It only wishes. And the dog's name was Gizmo, in case you're wondering, Grace. There are all my other thousands and thousands of female prisoner listeners. What an audience to have, eh, Grace? Talk about captive. Strike that from the record, Your Honor. That was an obvious joke. Dave, don't do obvious jokes. Multiple fatalities after tour bus crashes in New York State. Multiple fatalities, including children, reported Friday after a tour bus with about 50 passengers headed back to New York City from Niagara Falls crashed into a ditch, state police said. A Florida man's pet alligator gets loose, causes chaos at local fair. A Florida man's pet alligator, affectionately named, wait for it, Grace. I guess if you're in prison and you're waiting for a punchline, that's it's been oddly powerful position. Do I give you the punchline right away? Do I hold on to it? A Florida man's pet alligator, affectionately named Chompers, escaped its enclosure at the annual Citrus County Fair on Thursday, sending fairgoers into a frenzy as it wallowed through food stalls. The gator wandered through food stalls, knocking over a cotton candy machine and sampling fried pickles before being wrangled by animal control. Fairgoers snapped photos as Chompers briefly guarded a lemonade stand. No injuries were reported, but the fan banned Jenkins from bringing pets again. Sorry, this is the grok summary, and I think he's making it up. God damn it, Biddy. You think you've programmed an AI to behave just the way you want it to? And then you have to go back and readjust its parameters like a child? I think his name was Chompers, that part I believe. The rest grok, I'm not sure. A groundbreaking AI-powered prosthetic arm has allowed a British amputee to perform complex tasks with unprecedented precision, researchers announced Friday. I mean, what's the difference if the computer is really just doing the typing? Think about coding here, Grace. A curator at McGill's Redpath Museum is trying to solve the mystery of a 10,000-year-old humpback whale fossil found hundreds of kilometers away from modern ocean. The European Union is working to have U.S. tariffs lowered for its car exports as part of the finalized trade deal between the two transatlantic partners. A California resident has tested positive for bubonic plague after camping near Lake Tahoe. Health officials confirmed Thursday. Read that one yesterday. Here's the plan for next week, Grace. I'm gonna purchase an actual subscription to Grok. Or maybe I'll just pay for Twitter and get Grok that way. And then it'll be verified. And then everyone will actually respond to me. And that'll never happen. I'm gonna get Grok to go through all these fucking episodes. And suck out all the threads. All the jokes about transit, all the jokes about the house, all the jokes about whatever. It's all there in Dear Grace. Hours and hours. In my opinion. But I'm an arrogant asshole, so. Wednesday stars dish on season 2 at Fan Expo. CBC's Magda Chibilasi caught up with Wednesday actors Georgie Farmer and Joy Sunday at Toronto's Fan Expo to get details about the Netflix show's sophomore season, plus their most memorable fan experiences. It's obvious whether I'm interested in the subject or not. 2 Vancouver men had their motorcycles impounded and will have their licenses reviewed after allegedly driving reckless over the weekend. Well, shit, I mean, it's half the fun driving a motorcycle. You don't do it around others, but I think that's the thing I was mentioning. I want to put up a big banner about whenever scientists are using theory as fact. In this podcast, we should just have a big banner that's bullshit or true. Actually, most of it's true, so we'll just have a banner that says bullshit for the once or twice that I exaggerated an episode. We just need an AI smart enough to figure out when I'm bullshitting or not. Speaking of transit, the new trains are here. They have LED screens showing the map. Ooh, so amazing. Also notice their emergency windows are now smaller. The previous emergency window, if I was to rip it off, even I could probably fit through it with my fat belly because it would just sort of squeeze out to the side. But this new one's probably 2 inches less. The new window's about 2 inches less. I'll include a photo someday, Grace, but probably not today because it would mean I'd have to get out of my chair in the backyard and I don't want to. So fuck that. The truth is, these new windows I don't think I could get through. Maybe I could fit a skinny pretty girl through. But a big boob pretty girl would be tough. Kids, no problem. They can still fit through pretty easily. But I think the transit authority should recognize their mistake in the size of the windows, issue a formal apology, and spend a couple million replacing them. On August 17th, Vancouver police impounded motorcycles belonging to 27-year-old Ryan Chen and 29-year-old Liam Patel after they caught speeding and weaving through traffic on Granville Street. $500 fines each for reckless driving. Food-drug interactions could boost treatment efficacy. Occasionally, the foods we eat can interfere with the way drugs are supposed to work. Now, scientists are trying to harness the effects to boost the efficacy of treatments. Well, no shit. Got just for a bingo card, put no shit on there, but seriously. Half the problem with medication is we don't look at the interactions with everything else in the environment, not just food, but everything. And the only way we can get any efficacy is by making the medication so fucking strong that we actually fucking feel it. Grace. Back to school anxiety tips from psychologists. Ooh, this better be good. Dr. Brent McDonald, a Halifax-based psychologist, shares tips on CBC's Your Mind Matters on August 22nd to help students and parents manage back-to-school anxiety. He recommends routines like consistent bedtimes, mindfulness exercises, and open communication to ease transitions. For example, 10-year-old Mia Thompson, starting grade 5, uses a worry journal suggested by McDonald. The device targets 1.2 million Canadian students returning to school with a focus on reducing stress through small, actionable steps. It will just make school a whole lot more funner, and then every kid would want to go there. Nobody would give a shit. Just saying. A Quebec judge unsealed search warrants in the case on Tuesday after a joint application by major Canadian news outlets, including Global News, Québécois Media, CBC, and La Presse. Unsealed search warrants related to the disappearance of two children, 6-year-old Emma and 8-year-old Liam, from Gatineau. I love Gatineau. Grace. The children vanished in July 2025. An investigation points to possible foul play. No arrests have been made, but the case remains active. Florida Grandma's garden feeds thousands via food bank. How this 96-year-old's garden grew into a food bank feeding thousands in Florida. In St. Petersburg, Florida, 96-year-old Ethel Barnes has turned her backyard garden into a food bank powerhouse, supplying over 3,000 meals monthly to local families. On August 22, 2025, CNN reported Barnes grows tomatoes, zucchini, okra, peppers, and collard greens, donating them to the Tampa Bay Food Bank. Volunteers, including 12-year-old neighbor Timmy Lopez, help harvest weekly. Barnes started the garden in 2010 after her husband's death and now leads a community effort involving 20 local gardeners. That's a pretty good summary, Grok. For computer. Galapagos settlers praised. Galapagos settlers' paradise turned nightmare, new film recounts. When a group of European settlers made a home on uninhabited Galapagos Islands, they were hoping for paradise. But instead, it turned into a nightmare, as new film recounts. When you get out of prison, Grace, I'm going to take you to see a movie every single night. Assuming you've got money to pay. Plague still exists, what to know and how to protect yourself. It's not just a scourge of the Middle Ages. Plague still exists, though it is rare. Here's what to look for and how to protect yourself. You know what? Don't worry about it. Canadian scientist wins. Well, that's the other thing we need is a warning. Do not use this podcast for medical advice whatsoever. We can just start flashing that at the beginning of every episode. I'm not going back through the old ones. It's a lot of time. Could just put in the summary of the podcast. Grace. Canadian scientist wins global award for Alzheimer's research. Dr. Lisa Chen, a neuroscientist at the University of Toronto, has been awarded the 2025 Global Science Prize for her groundbreaking work on Alzheimer's disease. Her team at the University of Toronto tested the protein on 200 patients with 60% showing improved memory after 6 months. See, I could just run all of these through AI and they could tell me how good my memory is. Because if I remember something funnier earlier, then I bring it forward. If I don't, I don't. All the other bullshit news nobody cares about. Except for this one, maybe Grace, because you're in jail. Female inmates in Ontario prison launch art therapy program. Inmates at Grand Valley Institution for Women in Kitchener, Ontario have started an art therapy program to cope with incarceration-related stress. Officials announced Thursday. I assume this is some sort of official art program, not just whipping crap on the wall. Not that you do that, Grace, but... Just a prisoner makes the Mona Lisa out of shit on their wall. Do the guards at least take a picture before they force them to wipe it off? If you're wondering why I'm getting so introspective, it's the heat. It's a million fucking degrees out here. On this day, the great train robbery of 1963, on August 22nd, 1963, a gang of 15 robbers stole 2.6 million from a Royal Mail train in Buckinghamshire, England, in what became known as the Great Train Robbery. Pretty good movie, too. Or movies, I guess. A man arrested for smuggling 100 snakes in his pants at China border. Chinese customs officials arrested a man attempting to smuggle 104 live snakes in his trousers across the border from Hong Kong on Wednesday. Insert your own joke. Nick Kyrgios has withdrawn from the U.S. Open 2025 men's singles event due to ongoing knee issues, continuing his trend of missing major tournaments, having missed 11 of the last 12 Grand Slams since 2023. Well, I guess the tennis community is up in arms. Manitoba man survives month-long wilderness trek. Manitoba RCMP says search continued when... Manitoba RCMP says search continued Thursday for Stefan something else when those involved found the items. Let's go to the rock summary. On August 21st, 29-year-old Stefan Skjottelvik was found alive after surviving a month-long trek in Manitoba's wilderness with his two dogs, Luna and Max. The National Post reported that, Stefan, who set out to reach York Factory, Rock. Add this to the list of things to do. Instead of having an AP style, well, the PA style. Prisoner app style. AP style says use last name, but Prisoner app says use first name if last name is too hard to pronounce for David. The National Post reported that Stefan, who set out to reach York Factory, was discovered by RCMP near a river, dehydrated but unharmed. Near a river, and he's dehydrated. He survived on berries, fish, and rainwater using a makeshift shelter. His dogs, unharmed, stayed by his side. The rescue followed a tip from a local hunter, Joe Fontaine. Can't be afraid to poop, Grace. If you're in that situation, drink the river water. It makes you shit, don't worry about it. You can only shit until there's nothing left. And there's not going to be anything left in a day or two anyways, because you're not fucking eating, so don't worry about it. And what else do you have to do? You're lost in the woods. So you sit around shit all day. It's only going to last for a day. You can keep drinking the river water after that, because your body will become used to it. And then you're good. You just wait around. I suggest find something to burn and just keep burning it 24 hours a day. Just my opinion, Grace. Again, throw the warning up. Toronto man pleads guilty to Snapchat sex offenses. A 22-year-old man has pleaded guilty to a number of sex offenses against a young girl he met on the messaging app Snapchat. Humpback whale fossil deepens. I don't care. Alright. Japanese town builds giant squid statue to boost tourism. Here's another transit joke to add to the list. I was on train number 10 the other day. The system's around, what, 20, 30 years? How many fucking miles is that train gone? I was pretty sure it's gonna die. That it would crash. Anyways, coastal town Japan has unveiled a 13-meter long giant squid statue made from recycled materials, hoping to attract tourists to its shores, local media reported Friday. Like tourists are just floating by this coastal town, they see a statue. Let's turn right here. I think everyone in those town council meetings where they're trying to attract people are high or drunk. New study links poor sleep to increased dementia risk. Well, that's what I can't remember. Fuck all. New study has found that consistently poor sleep in your 40s and 50s could increase the risk of developing dementia later in life. Researchers in Australia announced Friday. I think I read this yesterday, but I can't remember because I probably have fucking dementia. Still a little grumpy, Grace. Colombia bomb attack near military base kills 5, injures several. German shepherd gets stuck in cat flap, goes viral. August 21st. Bruno, a 3-year-old German Shepherd, got his head wedged in a cat flap at owner Lisa Green's Bristol home, sparking a viral video with 1.2 million views. Sure, take a video before you even help the poor dog. The Independent reported that firefighters freed Bruno after 20 minutes unharmed but slightly embarrassed. Well, I guess the firefighters know the feelings of a dog now, Grace? Green, 36, said Bruno was chasing her cat, Muffin, who escaped unscathed. The incident led to local pet shelling and selling Bruno-proof cat flaps. NASA's new tiny moon discovery around Uranus. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has spotted a new tiny moon orbiting Uranus. So small, you could walk its circumference in 2 hours, scientists announced Friday. So it's a rock. Scientists are so bored that they're telling us when they discover new rocks flying around other planets, go build that dark matter detector, scientist. Prove me wrong, make me eat my words. Therapy dog brings smiles to veterans in Manitoba. An Army veteran is traveling the world on a mission to spread smiles with his therapy dogs, starting with a veterans hospital in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Yep, we kind of figured that one out a long time ago. Sorry, ABC News. I know you probably worked really hard on that story. Spent $1,000. Swedish church moves entire building to escape mine collapse. A 121-year-old church in Kiruna, Sweden, was relocated 3 kilometers down the road to avoid being swallowed by an expanding iron ore mine, officials said Friday. Weighing 2,000 tons was moved 3 kilometers, 12 hours. $15 million. $15 million. Guess they got extra money in Sweden. Grok, what's the homeless rate in Sweden? Nexstar Media Group buys Tegna a $6.2 billion deal. Ariana DeBose's mom dies of ovarian cancer at 57. Ariana DeBose, the Oscar-winning actress, announced the death of her mother, Gina DeBose, from ovarian cancer complications at age 57 in an emotional post Friday. Canada's first dinosaur-era dragonfly fossil unearthed. A fossil of a dragonfly from the age of the dinosaurs has been discovered in British Columbia, the first such find in Canada. Scientists announced Thursday. Seeing all sorts of wild dragonflies in the backyard, Grace. Someday when I have a camera again, I'll take a picture. Hint, hint. Vancouver's Granville Island hosts Quirky Food Festival, drawing 5,000 attendees to sample odd dishes like cricket tacos, seaweed ice cream, and kimchi donuts. First City News Vancouver. Chef Mia Tanaka, 30, led a demo on edible insect recipes, while vendor Sam Troy, 45, sold out of his wasabi macaroons. The festival, running through August 24th, supports local farmers and sustainable foods. 60 trap hikers rescued from flash flood in Boogaboo Provincial Park. A flash flood in Boogaboo Provincial Park, BC, stranded 60 hikers, including 12-year-old Lily Chen. Didn't we have a Lily Chen already? On a trail near Boogaboo Spire, Global News reported that BC Search and Rescue, led by coordinator Mark Evans, 40, airlifted the group to safety over 6 hours. Heavy rain caused the flood, damaging trails, but causing no injuries. The park is closed for repairs until September 2025. Real shit. Montreal entrepreneur empowers girls with period activewear. Montreal Sarah LeBlanc, 29, launched FlowFit, a line of leak-proof period activewear for teens, per Global News. The clothing, tested by 15-year-old soccer player Chloe Martin, includes leggings and shorts with built-in absorbent layers. LeBlanc, inspired by her own teenage struggles, sold 1 million units in the first week. The line is available online and in 10 Canadian stores. Probably use those in prison too. Just saying, Grace. Maryland High School fosters next generation of creatives. Venomous sea slugs shut down Spanish beaches. Grok, one of the things you need to do when I actually get a subscription and pay for you is figure out what combinations of words I can and cannot say. And add to the list, venomous sea slugs shut down Spanish beaches. Beaches in a Spanish tourist hotspot were shut down Thursday after rare venomous sea slugs were found along the coast, authorities said. Mental Health Ride honors first responders. A motorcycle ride in Kelowna, BC is raising funds and awareness for first responders' mental health, honoring their sacrifices, organizers said Thursday. $200 motorcyclists raising $10,000. Montrealer crowned two-time world water ski champion. A Montreal water skier has made waves by winning the world championship title the second year in a row, organizer announced Thursday. Lung cancer, a growing concern for non-smokers. Also, Grok, make a note. After your search for lists of things. I'll give you some example. We like lists of 10 reasons why female prisoners shouldn't listen to podcasts 1 hour a day. Probably won't be that simple, but I'll go back through some of the old podcasts and find some of their lists. I'll give you the sites. Some guy named Justin Brown puts up something every day. He's a real smart ass. An Australian ostrich farm has lost its final appeal to halt the culling of 400 birds after failing to meet welfare standards, a court ruled Thursday. Female inmates in UK prison launched gardening program. Female prisoners at HMP Send in Surrey, England have started a gardening program to grow food for local charities, prison officials announced on Thursday. I say just let them eat it. Indian scientist wins global award for renewable energy breakthrough. Dr. Priya Sharma, an Indian physicist, has been awarded the 2025 Global Energy Prize for her work on affordable solar panels, organized and announced Friday. On this day, Mona Lisa is stolen in 1911. On August 22nd, 1911, the Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre in Paris, sparking a global manhunt that captivated the world, historians note. McGill researchers use AI to detect infection before symptoms. McGill University researchers have developed an AI tool that can detect infections like sepsis before symptoms appear, potentially saving lives, they announced Thursday. Woman rescued from burning car by bystander in Florida. A heroic bystander pulled a woman from a burning car in Orlando, Florida on Thursday, saving her life just moments before the vehicle was engulfed in flames. Pig races steal the show at Alberta County Fair. I do my best, Grace. Pay me, I'll give a shit. On August 21st, the Lethbridge County Fair in Alberta, Canada, hosted its beloved pig races, where 4-month-old piglets, like bacon bits and pork chop, dashed through a muddy obstacle course, per CTV News. Farmer Jenny Lyle, 45, trained the winner, a piglet named Sir Oinks-a-Lot, who nabbed a blue ribbon and a bucket of apples. The races featured hurdles, tunnels, and a mini water jump, with other contenders including Ham Solo and Piggy Smalls. Over 3,000 spectators laughed as pigs slipped and slid, raising $5,000 for local 4-H clubs. Fucking pigs don't even get a... I guess... No, they don't. Perfect. Raise for the clubs. We're gonna raise pigs, who they're gonna show and then eat. Unbelievable, Grace. We're gonna have to bring the angry dictator back. No pig races. How many different bits can we get out of this, Grace? The angry dictator, the transit critic. Nepal bans TikTok again, citing cultural concerns. Anytime you have to control your culture through their activities, maybe your culture needs a rethink. Minister of Communications, Prithvi Prithvigung, 52, banned TikTok for the second time in 2 years, per Reuters. The decision followed complaints from cultural groups about content promoting vulgarity, including dance videos by influencer Ria Sharishthia, 24, who has 1 million followers. The ban affects 5 million Nepali users, with police tasked to enforce it by blocking app access. Like, people aren't going to figure out a way around that. If TikTok is more interesting than your culture, change your fucking culture. In my opinion, Grace. Stranded sea turtle rescued by Australian teen surfers. Well, they're reading this for the funny name, if there's one. On August 21, three 16-year-old surfers, Liam Carter, Mia Evans, and Jack Raleigh, that's the second me of today, and Jack Raleigh rescued a 50-kilogram green sea turtle named Bubbles, stranded on a Gold Coast beach, per ABC News Australia. Bubbles, not bad. The turtle, tangled in fishing nets, was freed using a pocket knife carried to a wildlife center by Ranger Sarah Holmes, 40. Bubbles, aged about 20, was treated for dehydration and released the next day. The teens were awarded $500 by the Queensland's Wildlife Service. I told Grok to make sure to get the ages of people. She's doing good on that one, Grace. Japanese firm unveils robot chef for home kitchens. $2,000 for a robotic chef that prepares dishes like sushi, ramen, and tempura. I think prison would be the best place to start putting robots for human jobs. Mysterious glowing orb spotted over rural Brazil. Villagers in San Felix, Brazil, including farmer Maria Silva, 50, reported three glowing orbs hovering over fields for 30 minutes, per Globo News. The orbs, described as basketball-sized and pulsing blue, prompted a police probe led by Officer Ejo Mendez, 38. No aircraft were detected, and UFO expert Ana Costa, 45, suggested possible natural gas emissions. Come on. Whoever had fart joke on their bingo card? Want to hear a true story, Grace? Not to tell stories out of school, but I'm in a mood today. If you can't tell. There's a site where you can create bingo cards. So you can just put in your top 25 stupid things said in your normal corporate meetings. And then it creates random business or random bingo cards for you. And then you can just have those for your meeting. And hopefully you work virtually. Because if you work virtually, then you can turn that into a drinking game as well. So every stamp on your bingo card, you also have to take a shot and stay in the meeting. Amazon has opened its first cashierless grocery store in Toronto, introducing its Just Walk Out technology to Canadian shoppers on Friday. Ooh, they announced that felt like a dozen years ago. Took them a while. Like my idea of better grace. Everyone just wears a body cam. And you take it off the shelf, it's charged to your account. And then you can put it in your bag, you can put it in your pocket, put it wherever the fuck you want, it doesn't really matter. If you put it back on the shelf or basically on any other shelf and leave the store, then you're not charged for it. End of story. No need for cashiers. Just go in there, take what you can afford. If for some reason you can't afford what you took off the shelf, then a swarm of security guards tackle you to the ground and tase you to teach you a lesson. Vitamin D deficiency linked to rising anxiety in teens. Not today, it is sunny as fuck. And I think over 30, Grace. A new study from the University of Bristol has found a link between vitamin D deficiency and increased anxiety among teenagers, researchers said Friday. So what, they're testing their vitamin D 10 times a day to make sure that it's not other factors. I'm not doing K-pop stories anymore. Hundreds of Vancouverites lit up Stanley Park on Thursday night with a glow-in-the-dark yoga session, part of the city's summer wellness series. What exactly was glowing in the dark? They wore neon bracelets and used glowing mats for poses like downward dog and warrior. Really? Downward dog? A glowing mat? Stanley Park? Again, insert your own joke. Scientists have discovered a new species of deep-sea fish off the coast of Hawaii with a bioluminescent lure, researchers announced Friday. We're getting almost another new bioluminescent species a day, Grace, if you're counting. The Kelowna winery has been recognized globally for its sustainable practices, taking home a top award at a Paris competition on Thursday. They have to have a competition for sustainable practices? Just saying, Grace. The wine industry seems to give themselves a lot of awards. I wonder why. A historic lighthouse in Nova Scotia has been transformed into an eco-friendly hotel, welcoming its first guests on Friday. The question is, can they walk in the forest in Nova Scotia yet or not? Or are the guests forced to sit in their room? To post comments on X about how horrible it is that they can't go walk in the forest. That was funnier in my head, Grace. Texas women's bakery goes viral for quirky cupcakes. On August 21st, Sarah Miller, 32, of Waco, Texas, saw her bakery, Sweet Swirls, go viral on TikTok for cupcakes of shapes like tacos, cowboy hats, and armadillos. Per NBC News, her designs, liked by 2 million viewers, included flavors like jalapeno cornbread and pecan pie. Miller hired 10 staff to handle 1,000 daily orders, with customers Jake Lee, 25, praising the taco cupcake. She plans a second location in 2026. German man builds home entirely from beer bottles. I think it'd probably be a yearly occurrence in Germany. Or at least probably one finishes every year. Probably takes him about 5 to 10 years of drinking beer. New blood test detects Alzheimer's 10 years early. Florida man arrested for racing lawnmowers on highway. Enough said. Don't even know. BBD. Don't even need to know their names. Grace. A Florida man was arrested Wednesday after racing modified lawnmowers on a state highway, causing traffic chaos, police said. I mean, if you're going to modify a lawnmower, you think you could find a place to race it other than a state fucking highway. Especially in Florida. Toddler survives fall from third-story window in Chicago. A 2-year-old girl in Chicago miraculously survived a fall from a third-story window on Thursday, landing on a soft patch of grass. Kenyan teacher wins Global Education Award for Rural Literacy. Got that yesterday. Female inmates in Brazil launch bakery training program. Ooh, this would be good. Grace. You could learn how to bake in prison. And when you come out, bread, buns, hot dog buns, hamburger buns, croissants, cookies, cake. Bear claws. Double chocolate, double dip, chocolate donuts, and or cookies. Actually, basically anything dipped in chocolate, whether you bake it or not. A women's prison in Sao Paulo, Brazil has introduced a baking training program to prepare inmates for post-release employment, officials said Thursday. On August 22nd, in 1797, André Jacques Garnerin made the first successful parachute jump from a hot air balloon over Paris. Historians note. Ancient Roman coins unearthed in UK backyard. Give a Tom Campbell reference on your bingo card. Here you go. Jane and Tom Harris, both 60. My age. Holy shit. Found 1,200 Roman coins from 3rd century AD in their Gloucester, UK garden, per The Guardian. The hoard, identified by archaeologist Dr. Emma Clark, 42, includes coins depicting Emperor Carausius, valued at £50,000. The find was buried in a clay pot, likely for safekeeping. It will be displayed at the British Museum in 2026. start digging in the backyard, Grace. Man caught stealing 500 chickens from Iowa farm. John Miller, 35, was arrested in Des Moines, Iowa, for stealing 500 chickens from Green Acres Farm per CBS News. Miller used a rented truck to nab the birds, valued at $5,000, but crashed into a barn, causing $10,000 in damage. Well, it's not like he's ever going to pay the $5,000 for the chickens, but farmer Lisa Grant, 50, found feathers scattered across her fields. Miller faces theft and vandalism charges. The court date set for September 2025. Indian village bans mobile phones to boost community bonding. Well, keep the phones, but interact with each other over the phone, as well as the rest of the world, and learn stuff, and don't doom scroll. Instead, learn scroll or smart scroll, or I don't know, somebody else said something like that. Not me, Grace. Art therapy helps veterans cope with PTSD in Ontario. You mix that art therapy with a little MDMA therapy and get some good art and some good therapy. Just saying, Grace. Again, don't take any advice. Russian town builds world's largest snowman for tourism. On August 20th, Selkard, Russia, unveiled a 25-meter tall snowman named Sneeze Hawk, breaking a Guinness World Record per toss, built by 200 locals, including artist Anna Popova, 32. It features a carrot nose the size of a car and coal eyes from nearby mine. The $50,000 project drew 5,000 visitors in a day, offering snowman through car. I should tell Grok to limit that summary to my attention span. It's clearly shorter than that. Grace. Italian village overrun by thousands of crickets. Unless you named them all, I don't care. A family in Manchester, England was overjoyed on Friday when their cat, missing for 5 years, was found living in a neighbor's shed. Really, neighbor? 5 years? A tabby cat named Whiskers, 7, was reunited with the Patel family in Manchester, UK after 5 years, per The Independent. Found by neighbor Tom Harris, 30, in a shed, munching on mice. Wow. Those are not observant people. Severe flooding in Myanmar's Shan state has displaced over 20,000 people and destroyed thousands of acres of crops, authorities reported Thursday. South Korea has begun training AI-powered traffic lights in Seoul to reduce congestion, with early results showing promise, officials said Friday. Sorry to tell you, they are already as AI as you can get. A couple's wedding photos in the Scottish Highlands were hilariously interrupted by a curious cow on Wednesday, delighting social media. No funny name for the cow, so I won't read the summary. Marine biologists in New Zealand have discovered a rare bioluminescent squid species in the Pacific Ocean, announced Friday. Apparently everything's becoming bioluminescent. Bioluminescent. Do you hear that, Tony Hinchcliffe? Bioluminescent. Enunciate that. Vancouver's food truck festival draws record crowds. Includes tacos al pastor from Juan Garcia's truck, kimchi fries from Hana Lee's stall, and mango lassi popsicles by Priya Khan. I mean, organizer Sarah Wong, 40, reported 50 trucks with dishes like poutine, sushi burritos, and jerk chicken. The event raised $10,000 for local food banks and runs through August 24th. group of beekeepers in Victoria, BC successfully relocated a rare native bee colony on Wednesday, preserving a vital pollinator. Past the hour grace, but I feel generous. I haven't finished all the stories yet, so I'll just look for good shit now. A Winnipeg library has launched free knitting classes for teenagers, aiming to boost creativity, and community organizers said Friday. It's a hell of an idea. Why ever stop them? From the moment any library is ever open, they should offer knitting classes, reading classes, all the basics for free. Trust me, I spend a lot of time in libraries. Grace. They've got time. A couple in Sacramento, California has reopened a 1950s diner to serve as a community hub, welcoming its first customers on Wednesday. Green tea extract may lower diabetes risk, study says. A new study from Japan suggests green tea extract could reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. Researchers announced on Friday. Can't speak. Music therapy, we did that one. A farmer in southern France has painted his cows with bright patterns to scare off wolves, local media reported Wednesday. So we've got farmers painting them as zebras and wolves so far. Let's keep testing my memory, Grace. An Australian hiker was found alive on Friday after surviving 10 days lost in the outback, astonishing rescuers. She had a dog named Rusty. A Canadian nurse has been honored with the Global Humanitarian Award for her work with refugees in Jordan, organizers announced Thursday. A women's prison in Texas has introduced a coding boot camp to teach inmates to tech skills for post-release jobs, officials said Friday. We can get you transferred to this prison. Then when you get out, you can code this app up real good, real well, real swell, whatever. And then you can tell me what the female prisoners really want me to say. What stories they really want me to talk about. On August 22nd, 1932, Amelia Earhart became the first woman to complete a solo non-stop transatlantic flight, landing in Ireland. She should have stopped there. Oops, said that out loud, Grace. Archaeologists in Egypt have unearthed a 4,000-year-old bakery at the Giza Plateau. Man arrested for stealing 1,000 eggs from UK supermarket. A man in Birmingham, England, was arrested Friday for stealing 1,000 eggs from a supermarket, causing a messy scene, police said. Smashed 200 eggs in the aisle, leaving a slippery mess. Reported $2,000 in damages. So they threw out a bunch as a deterrent so they couldn't catch them. Not sure I understand that one, Grace. A coastal town in Japan held its quirky annual octopus wrestling festival on Wednesday, drawing locals and tourists alike. Australian researchers have developed a skin patch that delivers insulin for diabetes patients without needles, announced Friday. I guess just keep releasing that insulin all day long, or they scratch it every time they eat. Not just put the insulin patch at the back of their throat. Every time food goes over, it releases insulin. Just saying, Grace, that makes more sense to me. And how uncomfortable could it really be? This one is for you, Grace. Get ready. A Florida retiree has broken a world record by knitting a scarf stretching over a mile, local media reported Wednesday. Really, only the local media? That's not on fucking TikTok? Grace? I'm already over time, so I might as well read the whole fucking thing out. On August 20th, 2025, 80-year-old Betty Wilson of Tampa. Of course her name is Betty. August 20. Get your bingo cards ready, fucking trains. On August 20th, 2025, 80-year-old Betty Wilson of Tampa, Florida, knitted a 1.2 mile long scarf, earning a Guinness World Record for Tampa Bay Times. Using 500 pounds of yarn, Wilson, helped by neighbor Claire Lee, 65, created the scarf in red, blue, and yellow stripes. Displayed at a community fair, it drew 2,000 visitors. The scarf, donated to a homeless shelter, took 18 months to complete. Now what the fuck is the homeless shelter going to do with that? Grok. If you had a sweater 1.5 miles long or whatever, let's say it's 6 inches wide, how many people could you wrap up like a mummy in it? Couple reunites after 50 years apart in India. A couple in Rajasthan, India, were separated as teenagers due to family objections, reunited and married on Monday, bringing tears to the village. Yeah, fuck you, parents. In April 2025, Anil Sharma, 68, and Priya, Priya, Devi, or Devi, 66, reunited in Jodhpur, India after 50 years apart, per Hindustan Times. Separated in 1975 when their families opposed their love due to caste differences. Anil, a retired teacher, tracked Priya, a widowed seamstress, via a local NGO's social media campaign. Their emotional reunion at a temple witnessed by 200 villagers, including Anil's son, Ravi, 40, led to a wedding with traditional sweets like laddus and jalapis. The couple now plans a quiet life raising goats. I think I'd rather raise more kids than goats, but sounds like fun. Two stranded hikers find love in New Zealand's Stranded hikers find love in New Zealand wilderness. In July 2025, Emma Wilson, 29, and Liam Carter, 31, survived 4 days stranded in New Zealand's Fiordland National Park. Meeting on a group hike, they got lost after a storm, but kept warm in a cave. Sharing stories of a makeshift bed of ferns. Wow. Ranger Tom Harris, 45, found them after Emma's whistle signal. Their bond deepened, and they shared a kiss during rescue. Witnessed by teammate Sarah Lee, 27. Now dating in Auckland, they're planning a safer hike for their anniversary. Valentine's Day proposal in Paris bakery goes viral. On February 14, 2025, Jacques Dubois proposed to Marie Laurent, 30. Okay, I forgot his name there. Jacques Dubois, 34, proposed to Marie Laurent, 30, in her Paris bakery, Le Petit Croissant, Le Figueroa. Jacques, a carpenter, hid a ring inside a heart-shaped croissant he baked with baker Sophie Martin, 40. Why the fuck was he the one doing the ring thing? Doesn't make sense. Brazilian couple's airport reunion sparks global cheers. On September 20th, 2025, João Silva, 27, surprised his fiancée, Ana Costa, 26, at Sao Paulo Airport after 2 years working in Japan. Fuck, those names are hard, Chris. Canadian couple's lost love letter found after 30 years. Should be able to read these fucking names. In November 2025, a love letter from Tom Harper, 60, to his wife, Sarah Harper, 58, written in 1995. Was found in the Vancouver Library book per CBC. Discovered by librarian Emma Chan, 30. The letter detailed Tom's proposal plans, including a picnic with maple tarts and cider. The couple, now grandparents, recreated the picnic with their kids, Liam, 35, and Mia, 32, after Emma contacted them. The story inspires a library love letter contest with 100 entries. That's fuck all. Got 145.6 entries. Combine all those into one. Wouldn't stand a fucking chance. Grace. That's why I don't enter contests. Oh. That was the last story of the day. Way over time. Luckily it doesn't cost me a thing and I can talk all the fuck I want.